and military ammunition were seized. The amount and type of weapons captured made everyone's question even bigger. Who were these weapons going to, and who is behind this? The incident began 3 days ago at midnight in the Kanchari region near Burkina Faso's border with Togo. Border guards noticed abnormal activity during routine patrol. A long convoy was moving along the border line. That is usually quiet at these hours. The size of the convoy and its midnight movement raised suspicion. Border Commander Captain Musa Traore immediately reported the situation to higher authorities. Intelligence information received claimed the convoy was carrying humanitarian aid, but something was strange. Why would humanitarian aid be transported at midnight? Moreover, the convoy was using deserted back roads, not the normal route. When Traore received this information, his instincts told him this was not an ordinary event. He immediately called Special Forces Commander General Ibrahim Zerbo. General, stop the convoy, but be careful. This might not be simple smuggling, he instructed. Special Forces moved into action silently. They set up an ambush on the road where the convoy would pass. Helicopters took off. Drones began tracking the convoy. The massive convoy of 47 trucks was moving forward, unaware of anything. The operation began around 4 in the morning. Special Forces blocked the road. The convoy suddenly stopped. Drivers tried to flee in panic, but the circle was tightening. After a short chase, all drivers were captured. When the first truck was opened, the sight that emerged shocked everyone. Modern automatic weapons were coming out of humanitarian aid sacks. AK-47s, M16s hand grenades, rocket launchers, and much more. Each truck was like an arsenal. Captain Traore immediately called. Traore, Mr. President, you won't believe it, but there are enough weapons here to meet the needs of an army. This is not normal. Smuggling. Someone is preparing to start a war in Burkina Faso. Traore said in a calm but determined voice, collect everything. Not even a single bullet should be lost. And make the drivers talk. We need to find out who is behind this. One of the captured drivers, Jean-Baptiste Compaoré, was the first to speak. He began to tell trembling. They told us these were agricultural machinery parts. We were going to take them to a warehouse in Togo. From there, they would be loaded onto a ship. As the interrogation deepened, the scale of the matter emerged. Most drivers didn't know what they were carrying, but those who organized it were very professional. Each truck had a different route. They had left at different times. They had met at the border and formed a convoy. On the second day, more striking findings were obtained in the detailed search. Serial numbers on the weapons had been attempted to be erased, but Burkina Faso intelligence revealed some numbers with modern techniques. These weapons came from very interesting places. Some weapons were from the civil war in Libya. Some had been used in Yemen. Some were newly manufactured and had never been used. The total value of the weapons exceeded $100 million. Who had paid this much money? Traore immediately convened the National Security Council. The inventory of seized weapons was presented at the meeting. 15,000 AK-47 rifles, 5,000 M16 rifles, 3 million bullets, 50,000 hand grenades, 1,500 rocket launchers, 200 anti-aircraft missiles, 20 tons of explosives. Defense Minister General Sadou Traore was in shock. You could invade a small country with these weapons. These were definitely prepared for a coup or civil war. Who needs this many weapons? Interior Minister Ousseini Compaoré was concerned. Mr. President, if these weapons had been distributed, our country would have turned into a bloodbath. Terror groups could have fought for years with these, or opposition groups could have staged a coup. Traore stood up. Friends, this is not a coincidence. Someone wants to destabilize our country, just like in Libya, Syria, Yemen. But we are awake. We have disrupted their game. Intelligence Chief Commandant Ouedraogo took the floor. Mr. President, one of the captured drivers has started talking. The final destination of the weapons, was secret warehouses in Ouagadougou. They would be distributed there. Upon this information, Traore made a tough decision. Immediately, start a large-scale operation in Ouagadougou. Search all suspicious warehouses. Find out who is waiting for these weapons. And most importantly, find the financiers. The next day, dawn, operations began in the capital, Ouagadougou. Simultaneous raids were conducted on 23 different addresses. More weapons were found in 17 warehouses. The size of the weapon stocks was mind-boggling. Among those arrested were very familiar names: former ministers, retired generals, wealthy businessmen, and even some foreign diplomats. Their common feature was their opposition to the Traore administration. On the fourth day of the operation, the biggest shock occurred. One of the arrested businessmen, Francois Bonkungu, became an informant.
I believe this is the reason why insurgency in my country, Nigeria, is still persisting. They come as foreign aids just to give succor, to help, to assist. Yet they have their own hidden agenda. Have you wondered why sometimes Boko Haram will invade as strong as military base and they will go scot-free? And sometimes some of the flee army will tell the story that the equipment they came with, they don't even have it. You now begin to wonder how did they get some of those sophisticated weapons they are using to neutralize our security architecture? These are some of the persons behind it. How I wish other African countries who are seeking for foreign aids will begin to scrutinize those coming in if they have genuine intention towards the country, or rather they have their own selfish interest. I just hope and pray that God Almighty protects Ibrahim Traore so that Burkina Faso can be liberated for good. I know they will come in several ways, and several ways they shall also flee. Several attempts has been made so far on his life. God Almighty in heaven has been protecting him, because Ibrahim Traore has good intention and agenda towards Burkina Faso. I just wish that every African leaders out there emulate him and begin to see the need to protect their territorial borders, so that no intruders in the name of foreign aids can penetrate and carry out their nefarious activities. Anyway, whatever you think, drop your comment in the comment section. Once again, share, follow the page. Africa Unite.